What if I told you, the woman you're thinking about right now may have already chosen you, and you're the only one who doesn't know it yet? Sit with that for a second. Because most men don't lose women to other men, they lose them to their own blindness. Before we go deeper, make sure you subscribe and like this video, because what I'm about to reveal isn't something most people will ever tell you. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. Now listen carefully. A woman rarely announces her choice out loud. She doesn't sit you down and say, "I've picked you." That's not how female psychology works. Her choice is subtle, quiet, almost invisible to the untrained eye. But it is powerful, and it changes everything about how she behaves around you. And here's the dangerous part. When a woman has already chosen you, she starts expecting things from you, without telling you what they are. She watches, she waits, she studies how you move, how you speak, how you respond under pressure. Not because she's unsure, but because she's verifying if the man she chose is actually the man she believed you to be. That's where most men fail. They assume attraction needs to be built, when in reality, they're already being evaluated. You think you're still trying to win her, but she's already deciding if you're worth keeping. And the shift is subtle. She becomes quieter in certain moments, more observant, less reactive to things that used to trigger her. Not because she cares less, but because she's investing more carefully. This is the phase where she pulls back slightly, not to leave, but to see if you step forward. Most men misread this completely. They panic, they chase, they over-explain. And in doing so, they slowly dismantle the very version of themselves that made her choose them in the first place. Because attraction isn't maintained through effort alone. It's maintained through emotional stability, through presence, through restraint. So if you felt like something shifted, like she's still there, still engaged, but slightly different, don't ignore it. That feeling? It might not be distance. It might be selection. And if you understand what comes next, you won't just keep her interest. You'll become the man she was hoping you were all along. One of the clearest signs she has already chosen you is the way she begins to invest in your world without asking for permission. And most men completely miss this. You're looking for obvious signals, texts, compliments, attention. But her real choice shows up in something much quieter, something far more powerful. She starts caring about the details of your life, not in a forced or obvious way, but in small, almost unnoticeable shifts. She remembers things you said once, in passing, your routines, your preferences, the way you take your coffee, the kind of stress that weighs on you, the moments when your energy feels off. And she brings them up later, effortlessly. Not to impress you, not to get something from you, but because, in her mind, you already matter. You see, when a woman hasn't chosen you yet, her attention is selective. She listens, but she doesn't absorb. She responds, but she doesn't retain. But when she has chosen you, she studies you, not like an investigator, like someone who's already emotionally invested. And here's where it gets deeper. She starts adjusting herself around you, without making it obvious. Her tone softens in certain conversations. She becomes more patient with your flaws. She holds back reactions she would normally express freely. Not because she's pretending, but because she's protecting something she sees as valuable. You. But don't confuse this with weakness. It's not that she lowers her standards. It's that she becomes more intentional about how she interacts with you. And this is where most men make a critical mistake. They take this comfort, this subtle effort, and they become lazy. They stop leading. They stop showing up with the same presence. They assume, she likes me, I don't have to try as much anymore. And that's exactly when her perception begins to shift. Because her choosing you is only the beginning. What she's really watching now is whether you're consistent, whether the man she quietly invested in shows up the same way tomorrow, next week, next month. Or whether he slowly fades into something less certain, less grounded, less attractive. So if you notice her remembering the small things, if you feel her adjusting her energy around you, if her attention feels deeper, more focused, more intentional, don't overlook it. That's not casual interest, that's emotional selection. And how you respond to that will determine whether she leans in further or slowly starts pulling her energy back without ever telling you why. There's another sign, and this one confuses men more than anything else. She challenges you, not in a loud, aggressive, confrontational way, but in subtle moments where she tests your emotional strength. And if you don't understand what's really happening, you'll think she's being difficult. You'll think she's losing interest. You'll think something is going wrong. But the truth is, this is one of the clearest indicators she has already chosen you. Because a woman doesn't test a man she doesn't care about. She doesn't invest that kind of energy into someone who's temporary. When she challenges you, what she's really asking is, are you as strong as I felt you were when I chose you? It shows up in small ways. She might disagree with you more openly. She might tease you, push your buttons, question your decisions. She might even pull back emotionally for a moment, just to see how you respond. Not to create drama, but to observe your stability. Because attraction for a woman isn't just about how you make her feel when things are easy. It's about how safe she feels when things are uncertain. And this is where most men collapse. They take her challenges personally. They become defensive. They try to prove themselves. They argue, explain, overreact. And in doing so, they fail the very test they didn't even realize they were taking. Because she's not looking for perfection, she's looking for control, emotional control, presence under pressure, the ability to remain grounded, even when she introduces tension. When you stay calm, when you don't overreact, when you hold your frame without becoming cold or distant, something shifts inside her. Respect deepens, attraction stabilizes, and her initial choice becomes reinforced. But when you react impulsively, when your mood starts depending on her behavior, when you lose your center just because she pulled back for a moment, she begins to question everything. Not out loud, not dramatically, but internally, silently. And that's the moment where attraction starts to fade. Not because she didn't choose you, but because the version of you she chose stopped showing up. So the next time she challenges you, don't rush to fix it. Don't rush to win. Pause, observe, respond, don't react. Because in that moment, she's not pushing you away, she's giving you the opportunity to prove that choosing you wasn't a mistake. Another powerful sign she has already chosen you is that she begins to create space for you in her future without explicitly telling you. This is subtle, but incredibly telling. She doesn't just live in the moment with you anymore. She starts to integrate you into her long-term thinking, not in obvious declarations like, "We will be together forever," but in the way she talks, plans, and imagines possibilities. You'll notice it in the small phrases she uses. She might say things like, "When we go there," instead of "if." She may casually include you in scenarios that haven't happened yet, but feel natural when she speaks them. These aren't accidents. They're reflections of internal alignment. When a woman hasn't chosen you, her language stays conditional, detached, temporary. She keeps her options mentally open, even if she enjoys your company. But when she has chosen you, her mindset shifts from evaluation to inclusion. And here's what's important. She won't always make a big announcement about this shift. In fact, she might not even consciously realize how often she's doing it. But her subconscious is already building a narrative where you belong in her life beyond the present moment. This is also where her emotional attachment deepens. Because once a woman begins to associate you with her future, her investment increases. She becomes more emotionally involved, more protective of the connection, more attentive to consistency. Now here's where many men misinterpret this stage. They either become too relaxed or too dependent. Some men assume, "She's thinking long-term, so I don't need to do much anymore." Others start clinging, trying to accelerate the relationship, asking for clarity too early, pushing for definitions before the connection has naturally matured. Both approaches disrupt the balance, because at this stage, what she's really evaluating is not just how she feels about you, but whether the reality of being with you matches the future she's beginning to imagine. She's asking herself silently, does this man bring stability? Does he stay consistent over time? Does he handle life in a way that aligns with the future I'm envisioning? And she won't ask you these questions directly. She'll observe, she'll feel, she'll compare. So when you notice her including you in future-oriented language, when conversations start to naturally extend beyond the present moment, when you feel like you've already been mentally placed somewhere in her life, understand this clearly. That's not casual behavior. That's emotional forecasting. And it only happens when a woman has already made a quiet internal decision that you are no longer just an option. You are part of the picture she's building in her mind. The final sign is one most men completely overlook because it doesn't look like interest on the surface. It looks like calm. But beneath that calm is certainty. When a woman has chosen you, her emotional behavior becomes more stable around you. The highs and lows start to smooth out. She's less reactive to minor issues, less anxious about your attention, less inconsistent in her presence. Not because she's losing interest, but because she feels secure enough not to overcompensate. You see, when a woman hasn't chosen you, her behavior is often unpredictable. She might be hot one moment, distant the next. Engaged today, unavailable tomorrow. That inconsistency is usually a reflection of internal uncertainty. But when she has chosen you, a different pattern emerges. She becomes more emotionally grounded in your presence. She doesn't feel the need to constantly test the connection. She doesn't require constant reassurance. Her energy around you feels steady. And this is where many men misread the situation again. They interpret this stability as boredom. They think, she's not as excited anymore. Maybe she's losing attraction. But in reality, excitement and emotional security are not the same thing. Early attraction often comes with intensity, unpredictability, even anxiety. But deeper attraction? It feels calmer, more natural, more consistent. And that calmness is not disinterest. It's comfort combined with confidence in her choice. However, there's an important distinction you need to understand. This stability is not unconditional. It's built on your consistency. Because while she may have chosen you internally, she is still observing whether that choice continues to make sense over time. If you become inconsistent, if your behavior starts to fluctuate, if you begin to seek validation or lose your direction, that calmness she feels can slowly turn into doubt. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but gradually, as her perception adjusts to your behavior. So if you notice her being more relaxed around you, more emotionally balanced, less chaotic in how she interacts, don't assume the connection is fading. In many cases, it means the opposite. It means she no longer feels the need to guard herself. She's no longer uncertain about where she stands. Because internally, she has already placed you in a category that feels safe, familiar, and meaningful. And once a woman reaches that level of emotional certainty, she doesn't chase you. She doesn't test you as aggressively. She simply watches one thing very closely: whether you remain the same man she chose or slowly become someone else entirely. Now here's the truth most men never hear clearly. Even if a woman has already chosen you, that choice is not permanent by default. It's not a contract she signs once and forgets about. It's a continuous evaluation, shaped by how you show up over time. And this is where everything comes together. All the signs you've been noticing, the subtle attention, the emotional investment, the future-oriented thinking, the calm and stability, none of it guarantees long-term connection on its own. What it really does is reveal her current level of alignment with you. But alignment can strengthen, or it can weaken. And the deciding factor is your consistency. Not perfection, not over-effort, consistency. Because what she's ultimately asking herself, often without words, is this: is this the same man I felt drawn to in the beginning, or has something changed? She is paying attention to your behavior under stress, your tone when things don't go your way, your discipline in your personal life, your ability to stay grounded when her energy shifts, your confidence when she's distant, and your composure when she's close. These moments matter more than grand gestures, because attraction at a deeper level is not maintained by intensity, it's maintained by reliability, by predictability in your core character, by the sense that who you are today is who you will be tomorrow. And here's where many men unknowingly sabotage themselves. They relax too much once they feel chosen. They become inconsistent. They stop leading their own life with purpose. They begin to seek reassurance instead of providing direction. And slowly, the qualities that made her choose them begin to fade from her perception. Not because she stopped caring, but because the signal changed. So if you take one thing from this, let it be this. A woman choosing you is not the finish line. It's the beginning of a deeper phase where your character is observed, not announced. Where your presence speaks louder than your words. Where your stability either confirms her decision or quietly challenges it. If you recognize these signs in your situation, don't rush, don't overreact, don't try to force clarity. Instead, focus on being consistent, grounded, and aligned with the version of yourself that naturally attracted her in the first place. Because when a woman has chosen you, she doesn't need you to prove yourself constantly. She needs to feel, over time, that her choice was not just emotional, but right.